My last one. Hey, bugs, it's Roslynn back at you one more again. I hope everybody is doing blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you and welcome. And to my returning subs, my grown, extended, beautiful family, as always, thank you so much for the love and support that you're constantly giving. Is truly, truly appreciated. So with that being said, much love to all. Namaste. Love and blessings, love and light. Many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell at the bottom so you know when I'm about to upload my video. And if you are comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback to the content of my video, or you're just up telling me about your empathic gift, how it impacts your life and heading you towards a positive direction. And if you feel like the videos are uplifting to you, that you would love to share with a loved one, family, or a friend, or even a fellow empath that may be going through some trying times at the moment and just needing spiritual guidance or just needing confirmation, validation towards life path purposes, please go ahead and share them while you're at it. Give a girl a thumbs up, like, and also share social media favorites wherever you see fit. I'm still listening to the same meditation. If you watch the last video, I don't feel like going through all that. It's taking more time out than what I need to say. So the video that I am doing is called Twin Flame 101 Heyokas, focusing on working through stagnant vibes to create a mindset of freedom. Right now we are going through a lot of situations where we are just getting pushed all the way out the comfort zone. It's like you on a whole new you and you didn't even know it was there. And it's just like there's certain parts of your life where it feels like you're not moving fast enough, or it's not unfolding fast enough. And it's like we don't realize when we're doing that. Everything goes in divine time. It's not going to transform, form, or flip the script when you feel like it's going to. When universe and God feel like we're aligning with more than what we have asked for, they're going to open those doors. And it's just like for us to be open for it. I was telling y'all, what was it, a few days ago, is like where I had to learn as well as recognize within myself to not focus on just one outcome that I want to take place, because you really just don't know what the universe is trying to bring into your life. Because if it's like you want a straight up cut in front, different, you don't know how many things you're gonna miss out on, because you're facing a lot of diversity within your life. You had to go through a lot of hectic situations for you to be recognized on what can no longer continue, where you need to raise your vibrations on, what you need to not engage in, what you don't need to entertain anymore, allowing yourself to walk away from anything that is costing your peace of freedom, anything. And a lot of times that it's just psychological and we don't realize that, and at times I got to give myself that self pep talk. It's psychological, because it's like situations we feel like we have to control the outcome when we have to go with the flow. We're trying to feel like, things have to happen in our time, when it's like these lifelong lessons are bringing a light towards anything that is working on within your life. I was a type of person, I put love in places that was not being reciprocated. I sacrificed my happiness to be bathed in my own, self-destruction just to appease somebody else. Or I didn't allow myself to have patience. I gave up on things because it got too hard. And so it's like all situations that I've had to face is aligning me with my strengths, because the strength was always there, but I was more focused on my weaknesses. I was more focused on what somebody has done to me, what I allowed to happen, what I kept holding on to, what I was not allowing myself to part ways and make peace with that situation, make peace within my own self, getting out of that survival mode, stop existing and allow myself to live, to create something of a new. And it's, going through stuff like that, it's not easy. It really isn't, and it's not supposed to be, because you have to be able to appreciate everything that you have faced, appreciate all that darkness that led you, to remind you you are your powerful light. Being able to allow yourself to not give into your weaknesses, to stay solid within your strength. And those are all the things that's letting you know it's like that stagnant energy and the reason why things probably has not taken place yet, because there's more things you still need to learn about that situation that you're placed in, or allowing yourself to know there's a positivity, is the positive outcome that's going to take place from a negative circumstance. And there are so many different things that, you know, that you're working on, and it's not easy. You know, that's where that power really comes from, because it's just the universe and God and our spiritual resources is reminding us of what we truly are. And I was just saying this in a conversation on a Zoom chat. It's like a lot of times we don't realize, you know, these are the things that when you're allowing yourself to, you know, call to the forefront of the things that has hurt you, and being able to see, you know, the things that has taken place, getting out of that vibration of fear, you know, because fear is there when we feel like automatically we're going to fail, or, you know, you're not trusting what universe is guiding you towards. Or, you know, I used to get mad. I'll get side-eye real quick. Be patient. What you in a hurry for? Are you not seeing the stuff that I'm going through? I'm like, I wanted that mess to end like 5,000 years ago. You know, just too much. But then when I allowed myself to really step back and see all the things that I've faced, the things that I'm facing right now, and what do I see coming out of that transformation from that diversity that I was constantly facing, is something very beautiful. You know, there's moments that I have of gratitude where I just get really high into my feelings, and being able to say, I appreciate those wars that, you know, I had to face, because that mess wasn't easy. I found a part of me that didn't even know existed. You know, I'm working on having that mindset to know not to take them constraints and restraints off and shed faucets that are just not, you know, really not, it's not meshing with me. You know, it's going against the wave. And it's just a lot of times we don't realize we go against the current a lot of times, and try to understand why life is so hard, you know. And there's a lot of things that's taking place in our lives. You know, it's just like when I see people hurt, you know, and I may not fully understand because I'm not going through that situation, but I know that feeling of making you feel like things are not going to come good for you. You know, when you're trying your best, you always get this moment of defeat, you know, that this enemy has won, this situation has won over me, you know, I'm not being heard, you know, or I'm waiting, you know, I want to say something. You know, I used to work on things from being in my anger, you know, of what's been deprived of me, what's my lied, what's my did this, you know, and not speaking the truth, ain't being honest, you know, they're doing things out of selfishness. And I used to get mad because I wasn't heard. And it was just like, you know, why do you feel like these things aren't happening for you? Even though you know the truth, your situation is on the other side of the fence, they know the truth too, you know. And it's just the fact is, I was working out of anger. I was working out of vengeance, you know, wanting to put a spotlight on the villains, and not allowing myself to let things unravel on its own. You know, as long as I worked on my self-awareness or self-growth within my life, you know, you just don't know what is unfolding behind the scenes. You know, if things are being moved in a not positive way, it's not going to overcome. It may feel like it will, or even if it does at that moment, trust and believe it has a way of turning it around. You know, they always say, tell God, you want to tell God a joke, tell him your plans. He got dark humor than a piss of hell. I'm telling you, he will laugh at you like, nah, okay, you think that's happening? Okay, let me show you this. I'm going to tell you a joke right now. Your thoughts. I'm not about to do it that way, you know. And there's so many different things that I've seen that I can connect with when I've seen somebody go through some certain situations, and just see how the things that they were placed in gave them a higher purpose of what they're going to do in the future, just because of the things that they were going through at that moment. You know, I remember it was a while back that I said, I was speaking on, I think it was, what was it? Was it Kendall Ray? Kendall Ray, she's one of the YouTubers that does crime that I love to watch on her shows. And she was doing a piece on Elizabeth Smart. And, you know, it was like a tearjerker for me, because even though, you know, somebody's telling you the story, you know, your mind is really going there. You know, I used to hear bits and pieces about her situation, and it was just like to hear the full story. It happened. I mean, and they're just bawling out tears. And it got to that point when she was in captivity. I know she don't like people telling her she was in that Stockholm syndrome. I think that's what it is when you have these feelings for that. But it was just like, she don't want to connect with that. But it's like you had so many different times where, you were left alone, and you could have told somebody where you were. But I think she said either the guy was threatening her, it was going to, hurt her family or whatever. But it was just at that point where she had made peace with it, that this is going to be her last moments. She was going to die in this situation. And then soon when that happened, that's when the blessings came in, because she was at that brink where she was going to make peace, that I'm just going to die in this whole situation. And it was like when she got to that point where she felt like, this man has took me captive, he has dehumanized me, and he's being confronted in front of cops every time, and nothing's happening, and I felt that. It was like, why is this man being so lucky with everything? He took her innocence away from her. She didn't feel like, it's like I can see that she was dehumanized and degraded to basically nothing. And for that, that whole man needs to be wiped out. Anything that you done procreated need to be wiped out. Anything that is not saying procreated, because I think she had babies by him, but just anything that reminds something of that needs to, no. And I'm glad her children is in something good. I think that she had children, and I think everything is good with everybody over there. But it was just, the fact is, being in a situation like that has made her an advocate for other people that have gone through stuff like that. And I think she's involved with the sex trafficking and stuff like that, being an advocate for stuff like that. And it's just like, wow, you just don't understand. That's why I always try to tell people, every purpose that you go through, every painful experience that you go through, it has a powerful purpose right behind it. You may not understand it at that point in time, but it will make perfect sense when it's time for you to understand. And there was another girl who got kidnapped out of her friend's yard. She was outside playing, the man snatched her up. And it just so happened, I guess he put her in like a little Tupperware thing and took her to the house. And all of a sudden, all this stuff happened. I forgot how long the girl was gone. Now she works on the police force for helping people in situations like that. And it's just like, you just never know what your purpose is going to be when you're going through different things like that. A lot of times you try to understand why are things happening the way it is. And a lot of times you just really don't know. And, I've been in situations before, and, it took me a long time to be able to say I'm lucky, because being in a toxic environment, or even in a connection with a toxic relationship, a lot of people don't make it through those things. You hear about people losing their lives over situations, or the people that separate, try to get paper. And that's why I said paper, because that paper don't mean nothing, to separate from certain things, to be able to have that freedom. And there's always, even if you make it free, that person's still going to always look behind their back to make sure that person is not finding them. That person is, even if they're in freedom, they still are caged up in that mentality. That person may come back. And those are the things that we get complacent in certain things like that, where we just don't try to see that positive outlet towards our freedom. We're so consumed in what is going in our lives to where it can make you feel like you are claustrophobic. There's moments where I felt like no matter what positive outcome or direction I go through, it just seems like the enemy is always constantly winning, or I'm having things thrown in my face that has nothing, it's not my fault, and those things got really heavy for me. There's days that I cried and it just felt like there's nobody there to truly understand me, even though if there was people in my life that truly understood that to a T, they still tried to push some stuff out on me. Like it, I already went through enough, so you're about to add extra to my life. And then when I finally can be able to get to that point and say everything that I have faced until this moment I have now, it took me a long time to come up with the words to articulate saying that was a blessing to me, because it constantly showed me no matter what is going on in my life, even though it may not feel good, it may not feel right, it may feel like the enemy is up, got one on me and they're just gonna, triumph. Your strength comes through something like that. And for you to be able to still sit here and face that, and being able to allow myself to detach myself from everything I was exposed to, everything that was placed on me that didn't even feel right with me. I appreciate those things, because they helped me find a part of me I didn't know was there. It had me question my own existence. And then it's just like at this point, you know, you even make the enemy mad, because it's just like, how is this person still able to smile? How is this person still wanting to see other people grow? Even the people that put you in a situation, you still being humble for that situation, and don't allow that person to know you don't have power over me. I have my own power. I choose to do that. I'm not going to allow myself to be put in a box to keep fixating over what that you've done. What you have done to me. It's just, it took me a long time to say, if I didn't go through these situations, I wouldn't be doing the things that I'm doing now. Because I always wondered what my life was going to be about. I wanted to be able to be a part of someone's life as well as my own, to be able to help that person find that happiness and joy into their lives. Even when you didn't get embraced by love, you're going to find that within yourself. And it makes me feel good, because it's just like, dang, this is what my pain of trauma has brought me, to be able to share my experience with other people, and being able to guide that person to reflect on the things that they struggle with on a daily basis. Y'all see me on my times when I get goofy. You see me on that time where I just feel, defeated at times. Or there's times, just like a few days ago, you just see me crying because I feel everything. Just everything. And that's showing you where your strength is, because you're not worrying about that, who's not going to understand your circumstances. It's not up to me for me to make you understand. It's either you're going to get it or you're not. But that moment is for somebody that needed that confirmation, that, even though you're in constant rain, that sun going to come out. You're going to be led to that rainbow, because you're still being persistent on how you're going to manage to pull out of that storm. And then when you got to that point where you have gone through darkness after darkness after darkness, and it's like darkness is that moment that has strengthened you. Your downfalls, it showed you how to get up. Your setbacks told you how to, regroup, go a different direction, or take a different route than you have before. Those mistakes showed you how to appreciate that, so you can learn next time that situation has come up. Not to be shameful of things that took place in your path and worry about how people are going to perceive that, because those past experiences that you're not proud of has made you a better person for today. Not worrying about what people want to bring up into your life, because it's just like, if people want to keep reminding you of the negative circumstances, allow them to be in that negative experience. As soon as I said that, the daggone computer to be off, it want to sit up here, send a notification. It's true. There's a life where people see your power. They envy that strength that you carry. That's the reason why they try to dim it all the time. And you're just allowing yourself to keep moving. Appreciate that, because you got something very genuine they don't want you to discover. You already done discovered it, because you're still living. You're still breathing. Yes, days, you have crappy days. Who doesn't? But there's going to be days you have to try to find that peace of goodness out of those days. I had a bad day a few days ago. I was having a bad day yesterday, but this allowed me to bounce back today and say, hey, appreciate what that sadness from yesterday taught you, because it made it better for today. Allowing myself to create that mindset of freedom. A lot of times we don't realize, because we feel like we're in a prison, or we feel like we're stagnant, because it's what we choose to focus on. And I had to be able to allow myself, don't worry about what's around the corner. It ain't even got here yet. If it has something to do with universe and God, and all those spiritual beings that's been here protecting me, uplifting me when I didn't believe within myself, allowing me to connect with people that I can truly relate to, and it's on the same level as me. I know that it's going to be something good coming out of this situation, because my mindset has changed. Even though there may be different moments in my life where I get angry, that's okay, because I'm being honest about that emotion. I'm allowing myself to feel it. Don't fight it, and allowing myself to say things. You've been in a position where you felt like you weren't going to overcome a lot of things, and that's showing your strength on many things that you have to push forward to. To that endurance to say, what, today is a new day. Let me start it off right. Have to be able to leave yesterday and make the good within today. So it's just like you're creating that, you know. And a lot of times, like I said, a lot of times when we feel stagnant, it's all about what we choose to focus on. You know, they always say if you stay focused on pain, you will continue to suffer. If you focus on, you know, elevation, you will continue to thrive. You know, finding that situation, using your painful situation to be that endurance to allow you to make a better life within yourself. It's all about how we choose to go about it. You know, if we keep saying that we're not going to get over that, we're creating that as our reality. You know, if you feel like somebody's getting over on you, you're creating that for your reality. You know, and there'll be that moment where things will fall out like you said they were. You made that your reality. So it's just like how we have to transition that mindset that we have. You know, you get that moment of freedom when you can allow you to drop those chains of what took place to bring you here. You know, everything is positive and possible that can place from the situation. Or am I allowing myself to keep reminding myself of the reoccurring things that happen in my life that really truly hurt me, or things that somebody has said? You know, all these different things, because right now you're facing a lot of things that took place in your life to put you on this path. And universe is making you go through these things as well as making me go through the things that is no longer needed in your life. You can benefit a lot from the tragedies you have. You know, and it's just like when I was talking about Elizabeth Smart and that other lady that went through something, she was kidnapped. Those are the situations they had to go through to make them the person they are today. So anything that you're going through, you never know what powerful purpose is going to come out of that. You know, I know a lot of things that goes on that doesn't seem fair, or it just feels like, you know, the villain is winning, you know, but you never know what, you know, universe has in store for you. You have to be able to have that faith to keep pushing. You know, if you're going through some stuff, you just, you know, call on whatever archangel that you need to call on, or call in a prayer and surrender that to him. I don't know what I can deal with about this situation, but I'm trying to put the best foot forward. You know, I'm trying to make this a positive day, but my heart grows heavy for the things that I'm really trying to make peace with. And then when you saying that and you're saying that in a pure heart, you're going to feel chills. And when you do, you ask them for assistance. Everything has to be free will. The only time they intervene is when they know something about to wreck you, you know, or they'll take somebody out your life that isn't, you know, is going to be blocking you. So just know everything has a purpose for happening, and it's just up to you to keep moving so you can find that purpose. So I hope you were able to resonate with the content of this video, y'all. I thought I was going to do another video. Well, I'm going to try to see how I'm going to do it. But, you know, I want to be able to give a post notification shout out to Miss Sheila Jack, and follow me on Snapchat. Much love. And I will see y'all on my next video. Like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, drop a line. I would love the chance to hear from you. And know that whatever you're trying to work on, I hope it comes so much bigger and better within your manifestation that you never imagined. And it'll come sooner than you expected. And I will see y'all on my next video. Much love. Peace.
Scariest things police have seen, part 12. This one is for my best